Times. Still works. Saxophone for Dummies. No, that can't be right. A Foggy Day. This tune came out in 1937. It was made popular by Fred Astaire in a movie called Damsel in Distress. The song expresses a shift in perspective and a newfound sense of hope and joy. The lyrics depict the singer feeling like a stranger out of place in the city, experiencing self-pity and generally bleak outlook. However, as the song progresses, the singer discovers that even in the midst of a foggy day in London, something unexpected and beautiful happens. This reminded me a bit of tonight's subject and how learning the truth of a family secret might bring a new perspective. As the fog clears, we see things in a new light, for good or for bad. Foggy day.
Thank you, Marshall. We will now have a 15-minute intermission. So let's build some community. So now we're going to hear from Ryan and John, A Town This Size.
So this is a song that was sung by John Prine and other people, but written by Kieran Kane about Grants Pass. Possibly. Or so, key of D. In a town this size, there is no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know. You can't steal a kiss in a place like this. How the rumors do fly in a town this size. In a smoky bar, in the backseat of your car, in your own little house, someone's sure to find out what you do, what you think, what you eat, and what you drink. If you smoke cigarettes, they'll be talking about your breath. In a town this size, there is no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know, and you can't steal in a place like this. How the rumors do fly in a town this size. Well, I had a fight with my girlfriend last night before the moon went down. It was all over town how I made her cry, how she said goodbye. If it's true or not, it doesn't seem to count a lot. In a town this size, there is no place to hide. Everywhere you go, you meet someone you know, and you can't steal a kiss in a place like this. How the rumors do fly in a town this size, in a town this size.
Thank you. So our next storyteller is Vicki Schnitzler, and Vicki is the retired superintendent at the Oregon Caves. She grew up in Dutchess County, New York, until she ran away to the National Park Service. She met her spouse, Marshall, while working at the Statue of Liberty, and they worked at parks all around the country. And by the way, just to connect, that's Marshall that was playing musician before. And the title of Vicki's story is, I Am Not the Family Secret. Please help me welcome Vicki.
Well, thank you for having me here tonight to tell my story. And as Steve indicated, my name is Vicki Schnitzler. However, for the first month of my life, my name was Christine Barrett. And I've wondered for decades, most of my life, am I or am I not the family secret? So I was born the end of May 1961 to an unwed mother. And after the first week on the planet, she went to Children's Aid Charity and relinquished me for adoption. At that point, Jackie and Fred Schnitzler from Poughkeepsie, New York, journeyed down to New York City, went into a room with a crib, and they were told, if you like what you see, pick her up and take her home. If you don't, just back slowly out of the room. My dad always likes to say that he didn't even get a chance to look, that my mom just scooped me up and away we went back to Poughkeepsie where all the family was waiting to meet me. So I was not a secret in the Schnitzler family. I always knew I was adopted, and I knew I was adopted before I knew what adopted meant. And once I figured that out, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder and a vivid imagination, and I started to speculate about birth family. And I thought, as a grade schooler, like, oh, I bet you I'm a princess. I bet you the king and queen of Bulgaria had to give me up for security reasons, and someday they will whisk here into Poughkeepsie and pick me up and take me back to the palace. And then as a teenager, I thought, well, I bet you I'm the daughter of some famous rock star, and he had this terrible fight with his girlfriend, and she ran away and left him, and he is going to be so excited when he finds out about me. So at 18, when you're legally an adult, that is when you are allowed to search for research for your birth parents. And so at 18, I seriously considered that. And for a number of reasons, I shelved the idea. First of all, my mom, Jackie, was a very emotionally fragile person, and searching for my real mother, that would have just been a stake in her heart. I was also at 18 mature enough to know that searching for birth parents might be a little bit of a Pandora's box. You might find out something that you really didn't want to know. And then, even though I was raised as an only child, I had a lot of cousins, 8 on one side, 2 on the other, dysfunction, drama, and I was like, okay, so I've got this already in family, and so I'm now going to look for 2 more families and layer that on top of each other. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not. So life goes on, and life goes on quickly, and I don't really think much about it. I do meet other adult adoptees, and they tell me their stories, and it doesn't really impact me. And then in 2020, I read that New York State is going to open up its database, its records, and adult adoptees are going to be entitled to 2 things. You could have your original birth certificate, and you could have the file from the adoption agency. And it doesn't take me long to decide that I want these things. These are about me. I get to have this. I get to know. I know who I am, but I don't know where I come from, and this is important. So I fill out all the forms and mail it all in, and I get my original birth certificate fairly quickly. It only took 4 or 5 months. And well, I thought it was quick. And I opened it up, and I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised to see that the father's side of the birth certificate is blank. But the mother's side is filled out. And there is my name, there is her name, Judith Irene Barrett, born in Mount Vernon, New York. I was born in a hospital in Flushing, Queens. I was born at 1:30 in the morning, so now, like everyone else, I can go out and get my astrological chart done. And it was thrilling. I have to tell you, it was just thrilling. And then I had to, of course, decide, well, am I doing anything with this or not? And it took a while, and I said, yeah, I want to see, now that I've got a name and a geographic location, I want to see if I can find a photo. I want to know if there's anyone out there that looks like me, because that didn't happen in the Schnitzler family. I don't look like the Schnitzlers. And some people would comment on that. So, like we all do, you head to Google and you search and you type, and I looked at classmates.com, and I looked at Westchester County high school yearbooks, and nothing happens. So it just, gets tabled. And then 3 years later, 2023, I get the